guys, welcome back to the Black Sheep Meadow. I'm Amber.
I'm Brent.
And today's a very beautiful and exciting day on the homestead. The meat birds are here. So we're putting Brent's brooder box to the test.
Yep.
And we're going to just show you a few of the things that we do to acclimate them and their food, water, that kind of thing. And we're going to go through how we do that. We ordered 15, but they sent us 17 Cornish Cross, jumbo Cornish Cross. And they all look really, really good. I've peeked in there, can't help myself.
I think there's one that may look a little smaller than the rest, but we'll see. Yeah.
But they're very cute. They're very active. They are very ready for us to put them in this brooder box. I already have their water in here. I mix a little bit of apple cider vinegar in their water, especially as baby chicks, to help with their immune system and all the good things that apple cider vinegar does.
We need to take a note on that, though, that the apple cider vinegar needs to be put into a plastic waterer.
Yes.
Amber made a mistake a few years back, and we added apple cider vinegar to a galvanized water, which destroyed the galvanized coating on the metal frame of the water.
Yes, definitely don't do that. So plastic for apple cider vinegar, or glass if you have glass ones.
Yep.
We're going to go over the feed, but right now we're going to get them in the box so they can get out of this little bitty box and start getting them in the brooder box. So
each chick, as we pull them out of their container, this actually came by USPS. We were a little concerned because USPS has not always been the most dependable,
most reliable source
of transportation of product. But anyways, all of our chicks made it here fine. But as we get them out of this little container, we're going to dip each one of their beaks into the water so they know the water is there.
Yep. So we're going to get you in a little bit closer so you can see that. We're going to kind of move you around a little bit.
Yep.
Okay, guys, so I know you can't really see our faces, but I figured you guys could see inside the brooder box a little bit better this way. If you hear Oakley in the background, that's because she's not happy with us. She's perfectly fine, but we don't want to stress the baby chicks out any more than they've already been stressed out. So we've kind of got her in the house so that she's not in their space and stressing them out a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and start unloading these guys.
Sit them on the ground.
Yeah, I'm going to sit them here. Can you see them? Look at them.
Now we're starting off, we ordered 15 jumbo Cornish Crosses and they sent 17. It's natural for most hatcheries to do that because let's just face it, on livestock at this level, you're going to have some loss. So
I'm just dipping their little beaks in the water. This is the little guy. Just so that they know where there's water and that there's water there. That first one I did started drinking right away. Oh, they're stretching their little wings. Probably the most active that these Cornish Crosses will be is right now. Look, that one's going to just go ahead and start drinking. Hopefully y'all can see that. Look at them go. They're so cute.
Now we will be doing 3 batches of these meat birds this year. We have it planned for this month, the month of March. We're going to do. We scheduled 15. In June we're going to do 20, and in September we're going to do another 20. For what we need or what we consume, most families are going to they're going to purchase 25 or 50 chicks at a time. I wanted to. We may consume 8 chicken a week. So I wanted to keep the freshest meat as possible in the freezer. I don't want it to be January, February next year and we're eating 8-month-old chicken. So,
well, you have to kind of take that in consideration for your family. We don't want to waste a bunch of freezer space either, and we don't want to overwhelm ourselves with chickens that we're taking care of and chickens that we have to process all at one time. So we're trying to keep it more manageable. And this isn't hurting them. I'm just dipping their little beaks in there. Several of them have just gone right to drinking. And they're so cute at this age. There you go. I don't know if you can see them in the background there. That one's just going to go right to drinking. They're very active right now. So that's a good sign. If you're curious, we ordered ours from Cackle Hatchery. We've ordered a lot of hens from them before in the past and have had really, really, really good luck.
This is our first batch of just meat birds from Cackle Hatchery, though. All of our hens that we've ordered in the past have been egg layers. Some novelty game, too.
Yeah. Here we go. And then this last little guy, let's see if I can get y'all up close to him so you can say hi.
Oh, he's camera shy.
He's camera shy. But check him out, isn't he cute? Say hi. Okay. Let's get them down in here. All right. Look, they're all just going right to drinking.
Right to the water. All right, so let's get them some food.
We're going to get food set up, so I'm going to rearrange the camera.
All right. So we got y'all a little bit out of the barn, so we know that our sound or our voice echoes in the film whenever we're inside the garage area. So we're going to get on their food now.
So we're going to start them on a 30% meat bird feed, but we're adding in the poultry NutriBalance, which is a vitamin mineral supplement that you mix in. And it's a pretty 10 pounds is 333 pounds of feed. So it's 1.6 pounds for every 50-pound bag. So I've got a couple of them measured out so that it's not so kind of a grab and go, but I wanted you guys to see what the bag looked like. And then I just mixed it in here. We're going to start.
This is a 20-gallon trash can, by the way. They made it, 20-gallon trash can was just right for mixing 50 pounds of feed. It left just enough room in the trash can for the mixing process.
We wanted to try to keep it. I mean, we could probably fit another 50-pound bag in here, but to mix it and all of that would be a little overwhelming.
Yep.
Or a little messy maybe, and none of this is the cheapest feed in the world, so we don't want to waste anything. So one bag at a time, that's nice and manageable for me by myself too.
So another thing we need to mention too on this 30% that we started them on, you need to remember these birds are only going to be here for approximately 8 weeks. In that time, we have to monitor their growth rate. So we're trying to start them on a really high protein, what you would typically see for a chicken. Most laying hens going to see something around 16%. But if we
out of the starter grower.
Correct. But once we notice, like in week 2, 3, 4, or 5, we're going to monitor the bird's weight to make sure they're not growing too fast. Because if they grow too fast, their body will actually outgrow their heart and they'll have heart attacks and die on you.
Yeah, so we're trying to prevent that. So we're going to monitor their weight really, really closely, considering these are our first batch of meat birds. So if it gets too much too fast, we can slow them down, bring them back down to a 23%. If that feels a little more comfortable to them or to us.
Yeah.
Or we might stay at the 30% the whole time. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to start them on one of these little feeders. I want to be able to monitor how much they're eating, and I think this will be a little bit better than just a hanging large feeder, at least for the first few days, just so that we know that they're...
Mainly the height of this.
Yes.
You know, the birds are still really, really short, so they need to be able to...
access it. I mean, you saw how active they are. I don't think they're going to have a problem, but I think this is just going to give me a little bit better view of them eating, how much they're eating, and that they're doing okay.
Once they get closer to the 7, well, actually, so they're only going to be in the brooder box for approximately 2 to 3 weeks. After the 2 to 3 weeks, they're going to go in the chicken tractor. I don't know if y'all can see that behind us back there. But they're going to be on pasturage. They're going to be on grass as well.
Grass as well, yeah.
That being said, they'll still have the option for feed, but we're going to put them on a much larger feed container than this in the chicken tractor. So this is just going to be temporary for at least the first 3 to 5 days, maybe week. Then we'll go to a hanging 5-quart or 2-gallon feeder. 2-gallon feeder, yeah, 8 quart.
Something like that. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to get the feed in there for them, and we're just excited that they're here. Yep. And they made it safe. It's a beautiful weather, so they couldn't have picked a better time.
We got 3 more sessions of this year. So.
Right?
Plus, we got some more laying hens, and we got turkeys coming. This year's our first for turkeys. So.
Yep, I'm excited about the turkeys. You kind of saw where we had them in the garage. We kind of moved that up just for the video because of the echo. They're actually going to go back to the back so that they're out of direct sun. And it's closer to electricity for the heat lamp that we're going to have on them.
Correct. Their bodies, because they don't have any feathers yet, it's very hard for the little chick to maintain body temperature, and they need to maintain at least 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, one thing I noticed is Cackle Hatchery requested that heat mats were not used for the chickens.
Yes, they were very specific that they did not want heat mats on their chicks, that they did not recommend that. I've never used the heat mat for chicks.
We've always used
heat lamps.
And the brooder box is large enough to where we have the heat lamp, if it's too hot for them, they can move away to a cooler spot. And if they're too cool, they can move back to the heat lamp.
Definitely think about that when you're setting up baby chicks, that they need to have a cool down zone.
Correct.
They'll learn,
they'll regulate themselves. It's just their feathers are not there for them to do it themselves.
Right. So you kind of have to give them the opportunity to say, am I cold or am I hot? So we're going to have the food and water kind of on one side, the heat lamp on the other, and then they'll have the room to kind of get where they want to be comfortable.
Correct.
So I'm excited. I'm glad you guys are following along. We're going to get the food. Let's get the food. They got to be hungry. guys, so we wanted to bring you in a little bit closer to point out a couple things. If you'll notice that I have their feed and their water elevated slightly with a 2x6. That's to get it out of the shavings. And we kind of made them a little ramp, but it's to try to keep the shavings out of their food and the water. It helps tremendously. Obviously, it's not going to stop it completely, but it definitely helps, especially that I've learned with my hens in the past.
Yeah.
So that's just a
The
little...
water in particular will completely fill up with pine shavings almost overnight. It's like the pine shavings are a magnet for the little trough around it.
So we try to keep it just a little bit elevated, not to where they can't get to it, but definitely to try to keep it a little bit out of the shavings.
That little guy sure is eating.
He's having a good
sign.
They are all very, very active. You can see them back there. They're scratching and running around, stretching their wings. It's probably the most active the meat birds will be ever.
Correct. As they get older, they're going to slow down a little bit. One thing I want to note here too, that these birds, we're trying to get them to 6.5 pounds in less than 8 weeks. So over the next 8 weeks, each one of these birds will consume somewhere pretty close to 14 pounds of feed. There's 17 of them, so that brings us just shy of 250 pounds of feed in the next 8 weeks.
It's a lot of feed, and you can see they're definitely food driven. And their little bodies are made for this, so it's very cool to see. So we'll take you guys along as we're progressing through this stage.
Yep.
But we're going to hang out and watch them for a little while. Thank you guys for joining us. If you have any questions, let us know.
Leave them in the comment.
Leave them in the comments.
Share our content is the best thing you can do. If you got a social media platform, share our content on it. Get some more viewers to our channel.
Yep.
All that helps tremendously.
But do all the things. We will see you guys next time.
I did mention that their bodies want to stay around 95 degrees Fahrenheit.